Hey guys, it's Sim and this. Whoa, camera's way high. It got moved. Let's fix it on the go. There we go. That's better. Let's then drop it down a little bit. Oh, we're rocking and rolling. Not ideal, but hey, we're here. We're live. We're talking Saturday night's main event, January 24th, 2026. Just 1 week away from WWE's Royal Rumble event. That's a bad angle, but it's what we're going to have to work with right now, because I lost the actual mount for the camera, the way it mounts onto the, what's it called? We're going to have to figure some stuff out with this. I'm going to try to remount it tomorrow a different way, because the mount that I had got lost when we moved some stuff around in the room and whatnot. Anyways, you guys don't care about that. As long as you can see me and it doesn't look horrible, we're good. We're here, and we're talking Saturday night's main event. A week before the Royal Rumble, we set up a big match for the Royal Rumble. Sami Zayn will be challenging Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship, and then, well, everything else on this show was kind of just there, if I'm going to be completely honest. Cody and Jacob Fatu never actually happened. AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura was just an absolute banger. That match was great, but didn't really have any repercussions for anything going forward. And then we had the women's tag title match that, honestly, I was bored with. I'm going to say it right now. I was kind of bored with. Not saying it was a bad match or anything, but I was bored with it. And then we got the stuff with Stephanie Vaquer and Raquel Rodriguez. They told us Stephanie's no longer in the walking boot. And yeah, so a bunch of stuff there. Also, weather update, as you guys, if you guys were watching this stream last night, we were talking about Friday Night SmackDown. You saw that here where I live, right outside of Tulsa, it was snowing. Let's go over to that right here. You can see it's not really currently snowing at the moment. It's supposed to ramp back up here later on this evening, and we're supposed to get 5 to 8 more inches. We're at about 6 to 6.5 inches right now. So yeah, a bunch of snow today. Let's see what it looks like if I go into color mode, because if we go black and white at night, you see more of the snow flurries. So that's why I leave it black and white. But let's just see if we pop it into color, and not much more of a difference. But yeah, got a good amount of snow today, off and on. But it snowed for the most part all last night, and we got most of it then, but it kept going. I would say from morning, oh, you can see there's some flurries going around, but from morning, I don't know, 8, 9 o'clock to now, probably got another 1.5 inches ish, maybe 2 inches, because we were at like 4 to 5, and now we're a little over 6. So really, really cool there. But if we go back over here, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher. My mind just went blank because I just saw all the bit donations come in, and it reminded me that I do have UFC on the screen over here as well. UFC is on Paramount Plus for the first time tonight. We got that Patty Pimblett fight in the main event. So let me just make sure that the audio on that doesn't accidentally bleed through. So I'm going to turn that down. But I have been watching that. Derek Lewis got beat. He slipped up, and it got him. It cost him. Derek Lewis got I'd say not knocked out, but it was like a TKO, technical knockout. But anyways, we'll get into those bit donations here in a little while. And if you want to get your comment, question, or concern right live on the air and you're watching on Twitch, you can also be like Esports Gaming Rules and donate a bit donation. But also you can support the channel over there on Twitch by becoming a subscriber, one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime. Because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. Whoop, I bumped it too much. One free subscription that you want to subscribe to throughout the month, and we greatly appreciate it if you did right here. Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, help us out over on YouTube. You can help us out over there by hitting the subscribe button. That way you know when we post new videos, when we go live, and when we post to the community tab. Also, remember, you can help us out over there by hitting the join button and becoming a channel member. As a channel member, you get access to news, well, not news, but you get access to our graphics packages, which I might be doing a new video to show you how I like create the graphics for the live stream. Like I kind of want to do a tutorial teaching you guys how I set everything up for OBS, because some people have asked for it. So why not put it out? Why not show you guys how I do it? It's not quote unquote wrestling related per se, but we will put it up at the $1 tier for anybody that is interested there. Maybe I think we'll put it out there for the $1 tier, and then maybe not. Maybe we'll just put it up. We'll figure it out. But with that, also remember, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat. And finally, head over to the Epic Games Store. Head over to the Epic Games Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited, at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. I'm going to turn this fan on because it's getting kind of warm in here. And with it being like 10 degrees outside, we got the heater blasting. So just get the air circulating in here so it doesn't feel as warm. But before we get going, we do have some bit donations here from Esports Gaming Rules. He says, wow, what a brawl between Cody and Fatu. And are we getting a triple threat between Cody, Fatu, and Drew at WrestleMania, at Mania 42 Vegas, if Cody wins the Men's Rumble and becomes a 3-time winner? I mean, that's one of the rumors of something that's been pitched. A triple threat with Cody and Fatu both challenging Drew. And they're really pushing that could be the narrative and the way we're going. I don't know how they get there. Maybe they do, a double elimination kind of thing in the Rumble. I don't know. Maybe they are the last two and they eliminate each other. I mean, we've seen before how the Rumble winner gets to a triple threat at WrestleMania. What was it? Correct me if I'm wrong. WrestleMania 24? Triple H, Randy Orton, and John Cena. Something like that. 2008. I think that's what it was. Where Cena ended up getting his contracted rematch early, the pay-per-view in February or March or whatever it was. And then he went on and then still did the WrestleMania. It was a whole thing. WWE referencing NJPW and Wrestle Kingdom and Styles and Nakamura is wild. And also Chaos and Bullet Club. Did you not watch AJ Styles debut in WWE in the 2016 Royal Rumble? They literally said AJ came to us from New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's the former IWGP Heavyweight Champion. And I'm trying to remember who it was. John Bradshaw Layfield. John Bradshaw Layfield literally said, he's the former IWGP Champion, Cole, just like Brock Lesnar. So this is not anything new. They have mentioned multiple times New Japan when talking about AJ, Finn, Nakamura, and even Brock Lesnar. Because yes, Brock Lesnar is former IWGP Heavyweight Champion. So like, them mentioning New Japan and stuff like that, it's not a shock. And think about it. It's not even the under Triple H thing. Because 2016, that was under Vince. And again, like I said, JBL even did the whole AJ Styles, former IWGP champion, just like Brock Lesnar, or same as Brock Lesnar, something like that. Esports Gaming Rules also says, watching the UFC debut on Paramount Plus. Yep, got that on as well. Because the rumors are that AJ Styles' WWE contract expires after Rumble, so fans fear Gunther winning, so he get more heat. Now, that's never been 100% confirmed that AJ's contract is up at Rumble. What was reported, and I can't remember who reported it, but I remember this initial report said that this is the word going around, but we can't fully confirm it. That last February, AJ signed a 1-year extension. Then his contract was up last February, and they wanted to retain AJ. He wasn't really sure what he wanted to do, but he knew he wasn't done yet, so he signed a 1-year extension. Now, whether AJ's contract is up in February or not, we'll have to wait and see and get that verified. But the way, and I know we'll just talk about it now. Now, the way they were talking on SmackDown was like, oh, yeah, AJ's got to get this Nakamura match in because after Rumble, he's not going to be able to do the Nakamura match. But then the way Michael Cole was talking tonight on the pay-per-view, or not pay-per-view, but the Saturday night's main event, was like, you know, in AJ Styles' final year here in WWE, there's some matches he really wants, and one is Nakamura. And he kept saying, you know, and what was the line? I tweeted it. Give me 1 second. He said, Cole said this. What will be the final year of AJ Styles? He said that 3 or 4 times, especially during AJ's entrance. You know, there's many matches AJ wants, and what will be the final year of AJ Styles' career here in WWE? So there's ways they're talking that make you think he can go either way. And maybe that's on purpose. Maybe that's just we're looking too much into it. I'm not sure. But like I said, on Raw and on SmackDown this week, they really made you think, oh, AJ's done at the Rumble. But then tonight, some of the verbiage that they used was like, oh no, AJ's going to go on for a little while. They kept calling this AJ's final year. Here in AJ's final year. But what does that really mean? Does AJ's final year mean, you know, the last year of his career leading up to whenever that last date is, final year, or 2026 final year? All of 2026, part of 2026, majority of 2026. That's what we don't know. And I think they're doing a good job of not telling us. I think they're doing a good job of keeping it more of a secret. Saying, hey, it could be at the Rumble, but you don't know for sure. He also says, did you hear Evil coming to WWE? If that happens, the Sky is going to be happy. You don't follow our social media, do you, guy? We posted all that up on, what was that, Tuesday when it was announced by Alvarez or reported by Ryan Alvarez. So, yeah, we tweeted that out and reported that news. We never made a video about it or anything, but we reported that news on our social media channels back on Tuesday. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, all that kind of stuff. Also, we're going to ban this guy for spamming the chat. And let's get into it. No Joe Tessitore. He had some travel issues, so Stephanie McMahon did the quote-unquote hosting duties to kick off the show here in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. They said that Joe Tess was stuck in an airport due to weather. After the opening video package, the traditional footage of wrestlers arriving to show up, there was a twist. In this footage, most were shown in the building having coffee. We're looking at Montreal Canadiens Stanley Cup trophies because they did not want to be out in that cold. I think yesterday, JC Mateo posted it was -13. He's like, this can't be real. So the first match that was supposed to happen was going to be Cody Rhodes versus Jacob Fatu. And, you know, the match starts. Well, the match doesn't even start, but the intros happen. Fatu comes down, gets in the ring. Cody comes down, gets in the ring. Does the first whoa on the ropes and then gets attacked by Fatu. Jacob Fatu jumps Cody as he's getting into the ring and doing his entrance. And the two start to brawl and just fighting everywhere. The ref was knocked over right away and the bell never actually rung. Officials flood the ring and try to stop this, with security also coming as well. Fatu then went into a zone formerly held by Ken Shamrock, because I saw someone post on social media. So I'm like, I'm going to write that line down. I like that one. Where he leapt off the ring post. He did his, so Fatu does that thing where he's like bounce moonsault. But he had to go bounce to turn around, and then he did like a somersault dive. And I swear to God, this guy came this close to crashing his back on the apron. Like, he did that somersault dive, didn't hit most of the guys out there, and was so close to the apron. And this guy almost wiped out hard. So they're fighting outside. They're brawling up the ramp. Fatu threw Cody back into the ring to clothesline him right back out of the ring. Rhodes then landed a suicide dive and posed on the announce desk. He cleared the announce desk, and Fatu tried to get away through the crowd, but Rhodes followed him, and they brawled even more. Fatu backdropped Cody onto the concrete, and Rhodes got up and tossed him into some of the road cases at ringside, in the crowd area. Fatu then dumped Rhodes into the lower bowl seats, and they fought up the steel steps towards the concessions area. Rhodes at one point threw a garbage can, or a few garbage cans, at Fatu while Jamie Noble tried to get him to stop. I think at one point, Cody hit him with nachos or something. I'm not 100% sure. Fatu then started choking Cody, and a poor security guy got in the way and got slammed through a table for his troubles. Rhodes then fought back, and the fight moved into the stands again. The brawl came back down the stairs, and they were over by those road cases again. They made their way back down to the floor. There were like 20 security guards trying to get in the way. One even climbed up on the road cases with them. One got just punched in the head, knocked down, and the other, got thrown off by both men down onto a pile of guys. So security's been taken out. They're fighting on this road case. All of a sudden, somebody else shows up. I'm like, wait, is that who I think? And you hear Michael, well, that's Drew McIntyre, that's the WWE champion. Drew McIntyre comes out there, and Drew shoves Jacob off the road cases, so he goes crashing, flying down through a table. He then grabs Cody, powerbombs Cody through some boxes and tables and whatnot. And, WWE champion stands tall and warns everybody, hey, you want me? This is what's going to happen to you. We ain't playing no games here. I'm the champion, and I'm not going to take nothing. McIntyre basically warned everybody, he's the champion you don't want to mess with. Because, this was actually a really good brawl. Very weird way to do this, but okay. Wasn't expecting this whatsoever. I thought we'd just have the match. But I guess they want to keep both guys protected, which goes back to the question of Resource Gaming rules. We're getting a triple threat at WrestleMania. Possibly. They don't want either guy to have a win over the other and then go into Mania going, well, Cody's already beat Jacob, so whatever. Or Jacob already beat Cody. Now they haven't beat each other at all. And the big question is, how do they get to the triple threat? How do they get there with one person having to win the run? Unless we do something where it's never been done before. Hear me out. Cody wins the Rumble. Fatu wins the Chamber. Cody's already said, I want Drew at WrestleMania. Fatu then goes, I want Drew at WrestleMania. And then Nick Aldis says, you know what? You can both have Drew at WrestleMania. And then Adam Pearce has got to figure out another way for the Raw champion to get a challenger for WrestleMania. And it's something that hasn't been done. Both the Rumble and the Chamber winner wanting the same guy and challenging the same guy. Now, I know what they usually do is once, say, Cody wins the Rumble, this is all hypothetical. Cody wins the Rumble. He says, I want Drew. He's off the table now. And they say that the Chamber is only for Punk, we'll say. But what if Jacob Fatu goes, I was told for winning the Chamber, I'm going to face CM Punk. You know what I mean? I don't want CM Punk. I want Drew McIntyre. No disrespect to Punk. He's my boy, but I don't want to fight him. He's not the one I want. I want Drew. It's something like that. I could see something like that happening. And then Nick Aldis going, you know what? I'm going to allow it. You can both have Drew McIntyre. Something like that. And it's different and something they haven't actually done before. Moving forward after a commercial break, and yes, we had commercial breaks. We got another update for WWE 2K26. Now, if you didn't see last night, they announced the Attitude Era Edition, which has got names like The Rock and Triple H and Chyna and Lita, the Dudleys, all on the cover. But then we've now got the Monday Night Wars Edition, which is very interesting. It's got on the cover, let's see if I can think of this off the top of my head, if I can remember before I go actually look at it. It was Stone Cold, The Rock, Undertaker, Kurt Angle. Oh, who's the last one? I can't remember. On the WCW side, down at the bottom, it was all three members of the NWO, Hogan, Hall, and Nash, Goldberg, Booker T, and Eric Bischoff. So who was the one I'm missing on the WWF side? Oh, Chyna. It was Austin, Rock. Actually, let me just pop this up on the screen. Let's pop this up on the screen. You guys have not seen it yet. Mr. Tim, no disrespect, brother, but you asking too many questions. What do you mean asking too many questions? I'm asking too many questions. Or I'm asking questions per se because, there's a lot of things that we don't know what route they're going to go yet. We can see where the direction might be heading, but the big question is, how do they get to that direction? And that's why I gave a fantasy booking option. If you would listen, you would know what I'm talking about. But let's really quickly, boom, try this here. Here we go. Whoop, that's a little big. But this is the Monday Night Wars edition of 2K26. Got Austin, Rock, Taker, Triple H, Kurt Angle, and China. And then down on the WCW side, it's got Hogan, Nash, Hall, Goldberg, Booker T, and Eric Bischoff. Really cool. Really, really cool. I like it. I like it a lot. As we move back to this, let me close that and pull my notes back up. Let me recap the brawl and everything that we just saw before the break. Drew McIntyre stomped through the back, and Kathy Kelly tried to talk to him. McIntyre said that anyone coming for his title can expect the same treatment, just like he gave Rhodes and Fatu right now. Remember, guys, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so on Twitch with bit donations or on YouTube with the super chat. Esports Gaming Rules over here says, can't wait for the WWE 2K26, and it's going to be loaded and legendary. I think they said 500 wrestlers at start. Now, there's a caveat to that. 500 wrestlers also counts as like five versions of Rock, 4 versions of Taker, 3 versions of Hogan. You know what I mean? That's where they get up to 500 with all the different versions. 4 versions of Kane. We've got, I don't know, 2 or 3 Roman Reigns. You got Shield Roman Reigns, 2016, 2015 Roman Reigns, and then you got the Big Dog Roman. Or you would get Shield Roman Reigns, Big Dog Roman Reigns, Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, and probably even more. So that's where we get to 500. There's 500 wrestlers in this game. I don't know. I don't know about that. Esports Gaming Rules also says UFC fans know there are big names fighting for spots for the UFC event in the White House. What do you mean fighting for spots? I mean, if Connor does the show, he's just going to be given the match. He's not going to earn it or fight for it. I think that's just going to be a show that there's going to load up with a bunch of people that you don't need to do contender matches or have guys win matches to earn a shot on the card or whatever. Excuse me, try not to burp right in the microphone. Got the burps and the hiccups. He also says, these sorts of gaming rules says, Roman enters the Rumble in Riyadh, but wishes The Rock runs creative now, that Triple H is the real booker of WWE. I have no clue what you're talking about. Are you saying you wish The Rock runs creative? Or are you saying that you think Roman Reigns wishes The Rock runs creative? Because if it's the second one, you don't speak for somebody else that you've never talked to before. That you got no actual knowledge of what they think and feel. Because again, I'll read your comment here. It says, Roman enters the Rumble in Riyadh, but wishes The Rock runs creative now, that Triple H is the real booker of WWE. First off, how do you know? How do we even, all these people saying, Rock would do better, Rock would do a better job. How do you know? How do you know The Rock would do a better job? For all we know, Rock can do a worse job. For all we know, Rock wouldn't even do the job. He'd just be the face while Brian Gewirtz is the one doing the job. Think about that one. That's the even more likely situation, that if The Rock was in charge of WWE instead of Triple H, he would be the face, going out there and being the one, how do I say it, promoting the company while Brian Gewirtz is really the one writing the shows and running creative. That's how it would be for sure. But next up, we did have the first actual match of the night, and this was a fine match. Like, it was good, not great. I mean, there were some really good spots in it, I will say that, but I was never fully invested. That's the one drawback of this. They had times where I was almost there, and I was like, oh, that was cool. And then it was just back to, they're having a match. So it was Rhea Ripley and Io Sky defending the tag team championships against Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez. Rhea got a big pop as expected, but surprisingly, Liv Morgan got a big pop when her name was stated as well. Sky and Morgan kicked things off literally as Morgan ate a drop kick. She bounced back through, throwing a back elbow out of the corner. Perez then tagged in and went for a double suplex, and Sky fought them off and took out Perez with a chop. One point, Morgan threw Sky around with some Three Amigos. She even did a little shimmy shake like old Eddie and Dom does. But again, Sky kicked out while Ripley salivated on the apron, wanting in. Perez then came back in and laid some elbows in right into Sky's head. Sky reached for a tag, but Perez grabbed her, held her back, and she couldn't get to Rhea. She then got her ankle stomped on quite a bit. At one point, Sky countered with a roll-through double stomp, and the two got the hot tags. A smiling Rhea Ripley was finally able to get into the match. She stepped into the ring with Liv Morgan and immediately threw her at the ground quite a bit. She had a fall-away slam and let out a huge scream before drop-kicking Morgan clear across the ring. Ripley then went for a riptide, but Morgan countered into a code breaker. Ripley then caught her and picked her up for a razor's edge. Morgan wiggled free and tagged in Perez, but Rhea did not care. She headbutted Morgan and then dropped her with a big boot, or dropped Perez with a big boot. Ripley then dragged Perez up the turnbuckle, but Perez fought back, and Morgan grabbed for a blind tag. She ran across the ring and knocked Sky off the apron, and Perez countered Ripley into a head scissors from the top rope. Morgan then hit a code breaker, but Ripley kicked out at 2. Morgan and Ripley then stayed the legal people, with Ripley getting Morgan up and landing in the razor's edge this time. Sky then hit a missile drop kick, but Perez snuck by Ripley and broke up the pin. Perez then went for an around the world head scissors, but Ripley got her down first. Sky then tagged in with the prone Morgan in the corner and charged for a bullet train, but Morgan dodged it and hit a spinning crucifix for a 2. With Ripley on the outside, Perez and Morgan double-teamed Sky once again until she fought back and took out Morgan. Perez went for a sunset bomb, but Sky countered with a knee to the face. Then we had a really, really close call here. Sky went up top, nothing bad. Close call as far as like a 2.8 pin. Sky went up for over the moonsault, but Perez got her feet up and hit the pop rocks. Perez went for the cover, and, well, like I said, EO kicked out at like 2.8, almost last second. Ripley then came back in and picked up Perez. She headbutted her, and she then had her up for the riptide. She tagged Sky, who went for the over the moonsault for the pin, but before the ref could count the 3, Raquel Rodriguez arrived and dumped Ripley on him. So it's like Ripley got knocked down onto the referee by outside interference, but the ref didn't do anything about it. She then dragged Sky to the outside for a powerbomb, and then suddenly Stephanie Vaquer would come out, no boot on the foot, and her and Raquel would brawled over the barricade. There was a splash into the crowd. We go back to the ring. Perez tried to steal one, but Sky kicked out. Perez then tagged in Morgan, who hit an oblivion, but Ripley also tagged in and nailed her with a riptide, stacked her up 1, 2, 3. And, well, as they call it, Rio, however they say it, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, they retain the tag team championships. Their next contenders, their next challengers will be the team of United States champion Julia and Kiana James. They have not stated when we're getting that match, though. So, good match. I would say there was peaks that were kind of great, but nothing like fantastic. You know what I mean? And give me 1 second. I need to go check on something. I'm going to be right back. So moving forward, with AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura after a commercial break, and this match was a banger. I'll say it right now, holy crap, these two killed it. It's likely that this is the last time these two will ever have a match together, so they went out there and put everything on the line. The bell rang, and they went at it. Nakamura grabbed for a headlock, but Styles shot him off the ropes, and they locked up again. This time, Nakamura went for a side headlock takedown. They wrestled through a few technical exchanges before Styles went for a leapfrog off the ropes. But Nakamura hit him with a drop kick. No Elite. I thought I was having internet issues. They then had a little reset here where they locked up. Nakamura was pushing Styles to the ropes. He backed off at the ref's request. Nakamura then told Styles, like, come on, like he likes to do. And he did, and landed a drop kick and a backbreaker. Styles then pushed Nakamura into the corner, and Nakamura punched him in the gut. Styles then responded with an elbow, sending Nakamura to the outside. Styles then leapt over the ropes onto him, squishing him on the floor. Nakamura then laid Styles over the ropes at one point back in the ring and hit him with a running knee. Nakamura then dropped a knee onto Styles' face, keeping control of the pace of the match. Nakamura then grabbed a headlock and shoved Styles into the corner and stood on his neck. Nakamura went for a stomp, but Styles rolled through and popped up with a clothesline. Styles then hit a sliding forearm and then a neck breaker, but Nakamura kicked out of the cover at 2. Styles then went for a Styles clash, but Nakamura was not letting him have it, and he could not lock it in and couldn't hit it, and then countered it with a running knee. He started kicking Styles in the chest very hard and dropped him to the mat. At one point where AJ bounced off the ropes because he got kicked so hard and flopped right down on the mat. Nakamura then hit a sliding German suplex off the ropes and then nailed Styles with a flying knee. Styles then kicked out of the cover, though. Nakamura set it for a Kinshasa, and Styles got out of the way and pulled him down into a calf crusher. Nakamura then screamed in pain but crawled to the ropes to break the hold. Styles then wrapped Nakamura's knee around the ropes and wrenched it before dragging him back into the middle of the ring for yet another calf crusher. Styles held it on for what seemed to be forever, but Nakamura wouldn't tap. Nakamura almost made it to the ropes, but Styles pulled him back and tried to reset the calf crusher, but Nakamura used that to turn it into like a triangle or like an arm bar kind of deal. Styles then lifted Nakamura up for a Styles clash, but Nakamura got out of it. Styles then hit a, oh my God, knee to the jaw that I thought he killed Nakamura with. Oh boy, was this hard, wild, and crazy. So Styles picked him up, and the two started trading forearms. Styles then hit a Pele kick, but that opened up for a Kinshasa to the back of the neck. Nakamura then went to the corner and went for another Kinshasa, but his knee gave out. Styles then hit one of his own, and Nakamura grabbed the ropes to stop the count. At one point, Styles then threw a back elbow, but Nakamura took him down with a sling blade. Styles then hit another Pele kick and sent Nakamura back to the mat. Both men were down, and Nakamura was clutching at his leg. Styles then got to his feet, and so did Nakamura. The two then traded chops and forearms and kicks to the hamstring. Nakamura then threw a headbutt, and when Styles lunged at Nakamura, he got him into an armbar. Styles then rolled through into a pinning combination, but Nakamura kicked out. Nakamura then went for a Kinshasa, but Styles blocked it and set him up for a Styles clash. Nakamura then got out of it and went for another Kinshasa, but Styles dodged, and Nakamura hit the ring post. Styles then leapt up with the phenomenal forearm. Phenomenal forearm, Styles clash, 1, 2, 3. AJ gets the win. This match was so good, so fun, so great. What a match. Then we go back to Stephanie McMahon. I didn't see what she said here because I was having internet issues. I missed this whole thing. I didn't go back and see it. I came back like a minute or so into the main event. And hold on, I think I'm having internet issues again. Give me 1 second. I need to go check my router. Sorry about that, guys. My internet's been going in and out all day. All right, I think we're going to be good. I think we're going to be good. Actually, Elite, I've been in -13 in Virginia before when I was training in the military. So where I started with this match, Trick Williams was making his presence known, stomping on Orton and shoving him out of the ring. He then turned his attention and fist to Sami Zayn. I don't know why I wrote that wrong. Weird. And the crowd, of course, was booing. Williams then threw Zayn into Orton and hit a neck breaker on Zayn for a 2. He then threw Zayn into the corner, bouncing him off the turnbuckle. At one point, Orton grabbed Priest and dropped him with a draping DDT. Williams came back in just in time and kicked him in the gut, which allowed Zayn to hit a blue thunderbomb on Orton for the legally required 2 count. Orton then crawled to the corner and Zayn charged for a haluva kick, but Williams interrupted him. Priest then threw some feet at Williams, who slid out of the ring. Priest then followed and charged, but Williams hit a bookend on the barricade. Orton at one point picked up Zayn on the outside, and Zayn countered it, slamming him onto the announce table. Zayn then scrambled back into the ring and hit a haluva kick on Priest, but Williams pulled the ref out of the ring before he can go for the 3. At one point, Orton tossed Williams back into the ring, but Williams rolled away. That left Orton open for a roll-up from Zayn, but only for a 2 count. Orton then hit the ring post off of a charge as Zayn got out of the way. Zayn then went up top, but Orton moved. Orton went for an RKO, but Zayn dodged it. Zayn fired up and went for some kicks, but Orton landed an RKO. Priest at one point was trading with Williams on the apron, and both were knocking each other silly, so Orton could hit a double draping DDT through the ropes. Orton then got pumped up for an RKO, but Williams blocked it and threw Orton at Priest, who hit him with a chokeslam. Williams then tried to steal one again here, shoving Priest out of the way for a 2. As we come down to the finish of the match, Priest rolled out in time for Zayn to hit Williams with an exploder in the corner. Zayn then ran in for a haluva kick, but Williams moved, and Zayn tweaked his knee on the ropes. Williams then went up top, but Zayn ran up there and grabbed him. Priest then hit Zayn and got him with the razor's edge, but then Priest then turned his attention to Williams, which left Priest open for a haluva kick, and Sami made the pin to get the big victory. So Sami Zayn does get the win in Montreal. We'll then move on to next week and challenge Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship in Riyadh at the Royal Rumble. I thought this was a really good match. I thought overall it was a good to great Saturday night's main event, but I wouldn't call it like a fantastic show or anything. Like if you missed it, just go back and watch AJ and Nakamura. Like the main event was fun, and like if you got time, watch that as well. But if you like, I only got about 15 minutes or so, go watch AJ and Nakamura. That match was great. We do have some 1-bit donation here from Esports Gaming Rules. He said, I'm glad Sami Zayn won in Montreal, but he's going to Riyadh because Sami will be the favorite to win. Well, yeah, 100% for sure, but Sami's not winning that belt. Drew's holding that title all the way to WrestleMania. With that, you know what I thought of the show. Now it's time to hear what you guys thought as we go and check the polls. Looking at the Threads poll. Actually, the Threads poll, there it is. 76% liked the show, 14% thought it was just all right, and 10% didn't like it. Looking at the Twitter poll, 81% liked the show, 13% thought it was just all right, and 4% didn't like it. Looking at the community poll, 76% liked the show, 17% thought it was just all right, and 7% didn't like it. And finally, 79% liked the show in the live poll, 18% thought it was just all right, and 3% didn't like it. With that, guys, that is going to wrap everything up. I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. With that, we'll be back live on Monday for Monday Night Raw. Remember, no early Raw this week. They're in Toronto. So have a great rest of your weekend.